Good morning, guys. Morning, traders. Let's take a look. Overnight, price has just been ranging. We almost came up to that previous day high, just shy of it, and then has been staying above that 24,974 level. Looking at if we do drop below this level at 24,973-ish, then it's a long way down to the next level. We could come all the way down to like 24,915 or so. So that's probably what I'm looking for, is either holding this range if there's some sort of like a liquidity grab and then it reclaims this level. We could be going higher. Or if we open up pretty bearish and there's a strong close below that level and we retest it, we could continue down here. So coming into the open, I think those are kind of the scenarios that I'm looking for. Just seeing that we ranged so much last night. Either we hold the range or we break above it or break below it. Break above it would be new all-time high, so I would not prefer that situation, but we'll take what we can get. Good morning, everyone. G-Man, Scott, Paul, Renzo. We got Clint, Mickey Man, Stockfather Senior. Love it. Efrain. I don't normally trade ES, mostly NQ. A lot of people in the chat trade ES, and a lot of times they'll be trading the same thing. Like if I'm taking an opening range breakout trade long or something, they'll be like, oh, I'm in the same trade on ES. So there's a lot of ES traders that follow along too. And looking at the ES chart, it's very similar. I mean, it's kind of been in this range, ranging overnight. And if it breaks below this range, then I could see it coming down. So if it breaks below here, kind of retests, I could see it coming down to like 67.30-ish. So yeah, very similar to NQ. Hey, Russ, how's it going? New trader. Love it. Have you been copy trading at all? Or sorry, not copy trading. Have you been like paper trading or trying it out in TradingView or kind of just charting and practicing? Or are you just like jumping out of the airplane fast, throwing $100 into the market? And yeah, kind of what Chichamis is bringing up, if you have $100 that you're wanting to invest in trading, that's not going to get you very far with like a personal brokerage account. By the time you pay fees and CME data and all that stuff, like that's not even enough for one trade. So I would recommend getting yourself a prop firm account for $100. You can sign up for Lucid is probably what I would recommend, either Lucid or Tradeify. You can get an eval. So with Lucid, I would go with the 50K test account. With Tradeify, I would go with the 50K growth account. Both of those are right around $100. And that gives you a chance to practice. And if you pass, you can actually like take out real money from the market. And it gives you $2,000 worth of drawdown. So $100 investment, and you're basically buying yourself a $2,000 account. They call it a 50K account, but really, if you reach the $2,000 drawdown level, the account is blown. So it's a 2K account. But yeah, that's what I would recommend, because $100 isn't going to get you super far. If you have questions about how prop firms work, and like if you've never heard about it, I know when I first started trading, I had no idea what prop firms were. But it's a really good investment in my opinion. It puts a little bit of emotion behind the trading. So going from prop firm trading to actually trading with real money, there's emotion involved. So you get to practice with someone else's money instead of your money. And then also, if you don't have $10,000 to open up an account and actually give yourself trading capital, with a prop firm, it gives you access to capital. So I think that's the best route to go for. Yeah, education comes first. Like you have to have some sort of strategy first. But once you have a strategy, a lot of times it comes down to the emotional side of trading. All right, we got market open here in about 4 minutes. In terms of news, we do have PMI coming out at 8:45 Central, so 15 minutes after market open. A lot of times if there's news 15 minutes after the open, what I find, like what I remember, is it's usually pretty choppy in the open. And then we do have Powell speaking later, right before lunchtime at 11:30 Central Time. So the market could use a little bit of a pullback. I think Powell might help us out with that, huh? Let me delete my squiggly line so you guys can see. You see this consolidation up here? Looks like it's kind of hanging off the edge of a cliff. It could use a little pullback to maybe like 24,876. You think Powell's going to do that? Perhaps. At what point are you able to take money out from a prop firm? So it depends on the prop firm and their rules. But just like generally speaking, of the 3 or 4 that I trade with, typically you have to pass some sort of eval. So you show $3,000 in profits on an eval. And then after that, you trade to some sort of like profit target, like a buffer or something. Like once you get a certain amount of money in the account, then you can start taking payouts from it. And it depends on the prop firm. Like TradeDay, for example, they don't have a cap. Like you can take out as much money as you want every day. If you trade with like Lucid, for example, it's $1,500 max per payout that you withdraw. And that's just so that you can start building a buffer in the account. They don't want you to like take away all the money and then you have nothing left to trade with. The idea is to like create some longevity with it. Strategy, I use volume profile to find support and resistance levels. And then once the market opens, I mark off the 15-minute opening range and the 60-minute range, which a lot of people call the initial balance. So take trades off of those levels. Could be a liquidity grab or a bounce at support and resistance. But mostly using volume profile. When Powell speaks, we usually break down, yep, he might be the one that gives us the pullback the market could use. I don't want to say the market needs. The market can do whatever the heck it wants, but, you know. It looks like it's due for a pullback. All right, market is open. And my gut is that we're going to be a little bit choppy until PMI comes out in 15 minutes. But we'll see. Here's the bottom of the range around 24,973. So let's see if we get a bounce there. Looks like it's pulling back a little bit. If we bounce there, we could possibly look for a liquidity grab and go long. If we hold below it, then maybe we're going to get the pullback early before Powell speaks. But going to be patient and see what we get in the open. Good morning, Mad Moxie. Good to see ya. How much do you rely on structure change? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like trend change, or are you talking about like the shapes of candles or like bear flags? Like, what do you mean by structure change? High and low candle changes. If you're talking about like looking at shapes of candles or wicks or things like that, I don't really like take trades based off of that. Higher highs, higher lows. I mean, I look at the overall trend. Like right now, I can see that long term, obviously uptrend, and like 15 to 30 minute trend is ranging. So I do look at the trend. But in terms of like higher highs, higher lows, I usually take a trade off of a certain support and resistance level or like a high volume node on the volume profile, not based off of like a structure of a candle, if that makes sense. I do rely on price action though. Like I'm more likely to take a trade if it's trending or if there's a lot of volume, which means that there's momentum and we're probably going to get continuation. So if you're referring to that, then yes. Or if it's choppy and ranging, I'm less likely to take a trade. Like right now, I don't really want to take a trade in the middle of this range. How far back do I look for support levels? Good question. So I use the visible range volume profile, which is this indicator right here. And when I turn it on, it shows the volume based on the price action that's on the screen. So you can see as I zoom, this changes over here. So normally I'll zoom out to like the 1 hour or the 4 hour and really try to get, and then like zoom a lot. So there's like months of volume on my chart. But lately, since we're kind of we're at all-time highs, the only support and resistance levels are from like a couple days ago. I'm looking at like the 15-minute chart. So kind of depends. A couple months ago, I was looking at the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Still kind of chopping. I'm going to put an anchored VWAP on our 8:30 opening candle. And then so far, this is our opening range high. It's currently holding above yesterday's point of control. But we also do have that overnight liquidity right below at 24,972. Looks like it's headed down that way. So like I was saying before the market opened, if it looks like it's going to grab this liquidity and bounce, we could possibly look for long. But if it continues below it and holds below it, there's a long way down before it finds support. So going to see how it reacts at this 973 level. If it gets there, might chop before then. Have I considered trading gold or silver? I've never really looked at silver, honestly. I have watched gold during the Asia session. It moves really well overnight during the, especially the Tokyo Open. But I haven't quite figured out how it moves. It doesn't react well to my strategy. I've marked off the high volume nodes with volume profile. I watch VWAP. It doesn't really respect my levels and my strategy. So I haven't done well with gold. All right, came down to 973. Looks like it's bouncing a little bit. Well, yeah, gold is just, it seems like every day it's making a new all-time high. Gold might be one of those things where it's better just to buy it and hold it. $73. Not really getting any signs of buyers stepping in, though. This thing might be going down more. Let's see how this 5-minute candle closes. We got about a minute and a half left. It's starting to get a good bounce now. Yeah, look at that 2-minute chart. You can see that bounce now. The question is it just a liquidity grab and now we're going to continue up to all-time highs? Or is this just a little pullback and we're going to continue lower? We do have the point of control from overnight is sitting right at 25,000, 25K. So if it comes back up to 25K and starts to reject, that might be a good spot to take a short. the risk to reward on that would be good too, because we could put our stop loss at the opening range high. If it came up to 25K, we could put our stop loss up here and target maybe down to this level. Just kind of playing around with if it does pull back up there. But it looks like it might be rejecting from here. Do my recommended prop firms have trading restrictions around red flag news? Not all of them. I would say pretty much every prop firm I've traded has restrictions around the big red ones, like CPI, FOMC. Those are the two big ones. Sometimes PPI. But it's usually just like 1 minute before and after, or 2 minutes before and after, something like that. Which honestly, like, you probably shouldn't be trading 1 minute after CPI anyway. That's pretty risky. Well, I was hoping for it to move up a little bit higher before it continued lower. Missed that one. You can see though that there's like no trading in this zone. So I'm guessing the next support we find is somewhere around like 24,920-ish. Somewhere in this gray shaded region. Gonna keep moving this line down. We got about 3 minutes until the opening range is set. This blue line is the anchored VWAP from yesterday's New York Open. So that just kind of shows that if it breaks below that, we're trading below yesterday's fair price, which we already know that because yesterday's fair price was, you could also say fair value was up here at point of control from yesterday. So we're getting a pullback. It's just a matter of how far. Yesterday's value area low is sitting around 24,900. And that support that I mentioned is right above it at like 24,910 to 24,920. So if this thing is going to stay bullish today, I could see a bounce somewhere in this general vicinity. But if it starts to fall much below that, I wouldn't be looking for any sort of bounce. I'd be looking for a pullback to enter a short. All right, We just had PMI news come out. And our 15-minute opening range is set. Let's see if this holds. And are we going to continue back to the top of the range? Or are we going to be going lower? Hey, Sasmit, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by, man. I miss having you in the chat and in Discord. Where have you been, man? Hey, Shaz, good morning. Well, PMI didn't really do anything that exciting. No crazy movement from that one. Glad to hear that you are locked in, man. US 30 is going to the moon. And NQ is just chopping here. Where are we going? Where are we going? What's gold doing? Is it still going to the moon? Oh, it's just consolidating at the moon. That's what gold's doing. So we are holding the 15-minute opening range low, which is also at yesterday's New York anchored VWAP. I don't like this level for longs though. Just because this is not where support is. We're kind of still hanging by a thread here. If we're going to get a bounce, I would rather see us come down to this general vicinity like I was saying. Yeah, Sasmit, I don't know what happened. It went crazy. But thank you. You had a limit over, even though I'm green. So did it maybe go enough into drawdown that it hit your daily loss limit before going in the right direction? Did that happen? Because if you have like a lockout feature, it could have hit your daily loss limit and locked you out, so you're red. No? I don't know. That's not normal. Can you, I mean, I'm guessing you didn't record it because it was overnight. But can you show like where your executions were and show that it should have been green, but your account's showing red, and talk to support? So I guess I don't, so your account is green. But your daily stop loss was triggered, so you're red? Oh, so your account is green. So what's the issue then? It locked you out? Oh, but it didn't hit your daily profit target? Well, that's strange. Yeah, I would say contact support then. Because if you can see in your Project X settings that you're not, like your daily profit target is set at a certain level and you're not there, but you're locked out. Yeah, that seems like maybe a glitch in Project X. I would say contact them and see. Maybe they can unlock it manually on their end. I'm not sure. Yeah, Rob, it's definitely holding this 15-minute opening range low. It's also holding yesterday's New York anchored VWAP. I just don't like this level for a bounce because if you zoom out, we're still kind of like in the middle of this range where there was not a whole lot of volume. I don't think it's a good support level. I mean, it might work out, but it's not a trade that I'm going to take. I'd rather get a little more of a pullback down to here if I'm going to enter a long. Oh my goodness. Is this what it's going to be like until Powell speaks? Yeah, we have lots of speakers pretty much all morning. Trump is in 10 minutes, and then a couple other Fed speakers, and then Powell. I feel like Powell's kind of the big one. The thing that Trump is talking about right now, it's more of a crypto thing, isn't it? I thought it was a big crypto announcement. It could be about the markets in general. I'm not sure. But you never know what's gonna come out of his mouth. Since we're holding below that overnight range level at 24,973-ish, I'm kind of looking for a pullback to enter short. Come lower to some of these support levels. This is New York anchor VWAP. We could look at a short from there. I think I'd prefer it to come maybe a little bit higher up to like 983. Come down to this level. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too greedy with my pullback. If I wait all the way up till there, put our stop loss at opening range high. Pretty choppy. ES and NQ are not correlated. Yeah. I mean, they're not too far off. It's not like they're going in the complete opposite direction. Well, I guess the rejection from New York Anchor VWAP was the way to go. Starting to peek its head outside of the range. When do I think I'll get in? This would have been a good rejection right here. I was just hoping for it to pull back a little bit more. If we enter here, stop loss would be up above that wick. All right, going short. I'm just taking 3 contracts. $42.5 is my entry. Only doing 3. Just because my normal risk is $200 per trade. And it's pretty far away from where I would put my stop loss. Going to target yesterday's value area low. If that value area low doesn't hold, this thing could come, I would say like 877. This would be the next big level. So maybe hold a runner to there. Is Trump actually live yet? Or is he late? He's usually late. I'll take off 1 at value area low. Hold the rest till that support level. Why would you say it's ugly price action? I'd say it's trending pretty nicely. Getting back inside the range. My stop loss is above the New York anchored VWAP, so if it does come up and retest that, that's okay. You think ES is going to hit all-time high today, and NQ is pulling back. That's interesting. Yeah, ES hasn't fallen below this range from overnight like NQ did. That is interesting. This is choppy. Let's see if we can actually get a candle closure below the range. Yeah, Scott, you think that NQ is going to work all the way down to previous day low? Imagine how wild that would be if both of you guys are right. ES makes a new high and NQ goes all the way down to yesterday's low and drops, what would that be? 940 down to 740, drops 200 points. I don't know about that. Man, It is not wanting to go down. Yeah. Bebsy, you were talking about the anchored VWAP from the lows holding support. Yup. And now it's chopping between the two VWAPs. Today's VWAP and yesterday's low. Coming back up to retest VWAP. Let's see. Let's see if it holds below it and rejects. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, it's been crazy the last couple days. This might be a good spot to add if it is going to reject here and continue lower. I do like that for 15-minute opening range break. So it broke out and coming back to retest VWAP. And then if it continues lower, that would be the trade. All right, I'm adding one more just because that's kind of where VWAP is. It's rejecting that. 944.9 is my average entry now. Come on, go down. $97 people and 29 likes. What's going on? Go hit that like button, you guys. It helps. It helps spread the word. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys being here. This is fun. I'm doing something a little bit different this week, you guys. A lot of times I'll do a giveaway each week on my live stream. This week I'm doing one in my Discord. So I pinned a link in the chat if you guys want to be a part of that. It's for a Lucid test account, 50K Lucid test account. That's what I'm trading with today. I really like Lucid. For until the end of the month, every purchase of an account enters you into a drawing. So for every purchase, you can purchase multiple and get multiple entries. And the odds are actually going to be a lot better than a giveaway on the live streams. Because, you know, here there might be like 60 names that you're drawing against. In the Discord, it'll be less. Right now we have like 6. So it would be like a 1 in 6 chance that you win. So go join the Discord if you're interested in entering that giveaway. Trump is live. Uh-oh. What's he gonna say? It's holding above that opening range low. Chopping between these VWAPs. He seems happy. Is he going to be talking about how he's going to improve the market and get housing prices down and get interest rates to go down and all kinds of stuff that's going to make the market pump? That's not good for my short right now. What in the world? Like, how is it? That makes me nervous about my short with NQ. Because ES is pumping. This is my trade though. Like, part of me is wanting to cut this short because ES is making all-time highs. But like, this is a textbook opening range break. It broke out. It came back up, retested VWAP, and it's starting to continue lower. He sounds presidential. Oh my goodness. Your commentary is cracking me up. YM is running like ES2? Yeah, how is it that ES and YM are like running? And I mean, NQ's not like dumping, but it's definitely below that consolidation from last night. Did bad news come out about like Nvidia or something like that? I haven't looked at the Mag 7. Which one is down? The fact that this thing is just not going down and everything else is pumping and Trump is talking, kind of making me want to kill it early. Nvidia's down. Yeah, Ephraim, it would be a small loss. I don't feel like it was a bad trade though. Like, this is what I'd take every time on the opening range low breakout or opening range breakout. The only thing that's making me hesitate is that everything else is pumping. Yeah, old Cracker Barrel is just like close to all-time highs. It is rejecting though. Just that ES and NQ were in a similar range overnight. And this is kind of what I was looking for. And this is what happened on NQ. It broke outside the range and got lower. And ES went to the top of the range. Rob, you're taking the short with me? Well, let's see. Is it ever going to move down? Whoa, you're holding for 24,569? You think Powell's going to come out with some really bad news? That's a big target. Think it's going to drop 400 points today? Yeah, I actually like 855 as like an ultimate target for the day if this thing is going to continue lower. Like zooming out. I mean, there is some support here. That's why my first target is at 877. But 850-ish, that's a good level. I like it too. I don't know though. It's not showing that it wants to drop. Look at that choppiness. Whichever way it ends up breaking out, it's going to be quick. Or powerful, I guess. We're still sitting in this. Does a range buildup indicate a strong move at the same day? It depends on the time frame. I mean, I'm on the 5-minute chart, so yeah, like once it breaks outside of this consolidation, I would guess it's going to be a pretty strong move. You never know though, because we do have Fed speakers, Powell's talking later, Trump's talking right now. It could chop for the rest of the day, and the big move could come tonight or tomorrow. And then, yeah, if there's a consolidation on the higher time frame, I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. Doesn't necessarily have to be the same day, but usually after a consolidation, once it breaks that consolidation, there's a pretty strong move. You're not in, but you're rooting for me? Thanks. We got a couple people in the chat short. I got some confluence. I'm not the only one. And I'm going with the, well, I was going to say I'm going with the trend. Depends on the trend we're talking about, right? I'm going with the New York Open trend. And I could say we're going with the like 15-minute trend and the 30-minute trend because we broke below these lows. But if you're talking about like the daily trend, everything's bullish on the daily trend. Boring PA, Sasnet? Yeah, it's slow right now. It's hard to tell if it's just consolidating for a bigger move later or if it's going to chop the rest of the day because of the speakers coming up. Who knows? Why don't I go to 4 hour to see? 4 hour to see what? That we're bullish? I mean, even if we pull all the way back to like 24,880, we would still be bullish. Anywhere above like 24,870-ish. Is that what you were talking about? Is if we're bullish or not? I wasn't sure what you were referring to. I handle what with grace? The chop? Or what? Oh. I don't know. I wasn't sure exactly what the question was. Yeah, Scott, I mean, geez, you want to look at the daily chart? We'd have to drop a couple thousand points for this thing to not look bullish. Yeah, I'd say we got to drop all the way down to like, I don't know, somewhere around 23,000 for this thing to not be bullish. So yeah, a couple thousand points. Nope. We are in a bull market with everything. Well, I shouldn't say everything because I don't look at everything. I don't know what oil and all those things are doing, but gold, crypto, everything. All right, breaking back outside the range. We got that rejection from anchored VWAP, so that's a good sign. Let's just get some continuation. This is the anchored VWAP from yesterday's low. All those people who bought at the bottom yesterday are holding this thing up. There you go, Kano. Good job, man. Lock it up. Call it a day. Go outside and get some vitamin D. Usually 15-minute opening range breaks are like quick. This thing has been chopping for 30 minutes and it hasn't gone anywhere. This range has been a little 33-point range that we're sitting in. Well, so far, this is our initial balance low. And this is going to be our initial balance high. This is a tiny range. We have, what, an 80-point range? Why are you yelling at me, G-Man? Why are you yelling? Yeah, all I can guess with the chop is because we have lots of speakers. Trump, Powell, Bostic. I don't know if people care much about what he says, but that's all I can think. I did not move this stop loss. I don't think. I think I don't have it exactly accurate on here. My stop loss is actually above those wicks. Stop loss is at 972.25. Awesome, Waffles. Good morning, and thank you for the support. Send me a DM if you haven't already in Discord with a screenshot, and I'll add you to the list for the drawing. Chances are still high, you guys. So if you didn't hear me talking about it earlier, by the end of this month, so within the next week, anybody who buys a Lucid account with my code, send me a DM with a screenshot. I'm entering you in a drawing for a free 50K Lucid test account. So normally I do just a random drawing on the live streams, but you know, you might have like a 1 in 40 chance. You'll have a little bit of a better chance with this one. And Lucid's an awesome prop firm anyway. So if you guys are planning on buying accounts, they're a great firm to trade with. Super fair, clear rules, super fast payouts, good customer service. Those are the things that are important to me, is actually being able to go into their website and like get help if you need it. And then the fair rules is good too. I am using Lucid. I've been trading with them for, I don't know, 3-4 weeks now. I've taken one payout with them so far. I like them. My experience has been really good. It's a fair price too. Like if you go the test route, the 50K test account is with their discount, I think like $85, something like that right now. And there's no activation fee. So you can get funded for less than $90. I always think of it as like the return on investment. Like I pay $90 for an account and I can get a $1,500 payout plus some, plus more if I get multiple payouts. Not a bad ROI. Nobody cares about Bostic. Yeah. That's why I said that. I didn't mean for it to come out mean, like, who cares what he says? I just meant, like, he might not affect the market as much as when Trump and Powell speak. And Kashkari, I feel like, is another one who has been pretty hawkish the last couple times he's talked. He makes the market go down. But other than that, most of the other speakers don't move things that much. Let's all be honest, we're just here for the duck race. Yeah, I know. It's the truth. I have my regulars that I like see in the chat and I get to talk with you guys. And then when I put the word giveaway on my title, a whole bunch of new people pop in. I know what you guys want me for. No duck race. Not today. This week's giveaway is in Discord. Don't want to mislead you guys. Not today. How much have I profited so far today? $0. This is the one trade that I've been sitting in for an hour. Use clickbait? Yeah, for sure. Just put giveaway on it every time, but don't always have a giveaway. That would be mean. I have gotten a payout with Lucid. I got one last Friday. So a week and a half ago. And it's super fast. I actually posted a short on my YouTube about it. From the time that I clicked the button that says payout request to the point that it was in my bank account was less than 60 seconds. I actually showed it on the YouTube short. Like in my email account, you can see that I got an email that said payout request at 5:39 p.m. And then in my Rise account, it said like payout received or whatever at 5:39 p.m. So it was less than a minute later. It was pretty crazy. On a Friday at 5:39 p.m. So I was kind of expecting like maybe I'll get paid Monday because it's a weekend. Nope. It was quick. Does Lucid have lockout settings? Yes, they do. So Lucid offers TradeDay Ninja Trader, and then they also have Project X, which is what I prefer, and that's what I'm using. So you can set like a personal daily loss limit and a personal daily profit target, and make sure to click the button that says lockout when that number is reached, and it'll close out your account for the day and not allow you to trade. My payout with Lucid, it was $1,500. I just got a payout in one of their accounts so far. I'll be getting more soon. I have 5 pro accounts with them now, so hopefully sometime next week I'll be getting more. I can transfer money straight to my bank account from Lucid. You just connect with Rise. That's how they do their payouts. Or Plaid. Actually, it was Plaid. Lucid is with Plaid, or Plaid. Plaid. I'm not sure how you say it. But yeah, you just connect with that, and that connects with your bank account. Oh, you guys. Well, keep asking questions in the chat to give me something to talk about, because this price action ain't doing nothing. Still chopping around. It's holding below VWAP. That's good. But it's holding above that opening range low. The way it's like not wanting to continue down is kind of making me worry, but it's not continuing up either, so who knows? Luke, you have the same trade? Yeah, I entered back here at 8:55 Central Time, so going on 50 minutes ago. And like I was saying earlier, usually 15-minute opening range break trades are like momentum scalps for me. It's usually like a 5-minute trade max. So if this thing does start to continue lower, one thing that does have me worried about shorts is that the initial balance is set. And that could hold as support, this 929 level. Yeah, Mad Moxie, this stinks. We had a decent open. Like this right here, this first 15 minutes, we had a good drop. Ish. I mean, it was a decent drop. It was like 60 points down. And then it stopped. How long you trading? How long have I been trading, or how long am I going to be trading today? If you're talking about how long am I trading today, I don't know. Depends on if this thing starts moving and we actually get some good trades. If it stays like this, I'm going to be done soon. But how long have I been trading? Right at a year. 1 year, pretty much to the week. So still somewhat new compared to lots of people out there. I'm a newbie. Uh-oh, old Cracker Barrel. Am I supposed to be fading you? We're going to get stopped out because old Cracker Barrel is short. You're messing me up, man. Click that reverse position button and go long. Just kidding. Yeah, Scott, these types of trades, I don't love sitting and watching. If it doesn't start moving somewhat soon, might be one of those positions where you just leave your orders and walk away from the computer. Maybe set an alert so you can come back and see what's going on. On average, how many hours a day do you spend trading? Like, actually in trades, I would say 2.5 hours maybe. Or like at my screen, like trading. maybe 2.5 hours total, because there's some in the morning, and then every once in a while I'll come back in the afternoon and look. But if you're talking about like journaling and charting and all the other stuff that I do, there's more time than just that. So depends on what you're talking about in there. How much time do I spend on prep? I usually draw up my levels the night before, and that doesn't take long, maybe 15 minutes or so. All right, coming up. Looks like it's holding that low. All right. Coming up to the VWAP. If it breaks above that, this thing's going higher. When do I trade in the afternoon? I don't often, but if I do, it's usually power hour, like an hour before the close. If this thing goes down from here, that's going to be annoying. There you go, traders. Make sure to post in the Discord when you get a payout from that account. That would be cool. Absolutely, traders. I'm excited for you. Let's see what our session volume profile looks like. I'm guessing, yep, that was my thought, is that we were right at point of control. All right, I'm re-entering based on the same idea. 48.25 is my entry this time. Reason is that it came up to VWAP, and that's a strong rejection. I still think it's going lower. It's also back below the New York anchored VWAP. I'm okay with trying the same idea twice. If I'm wrong after this, then I'm wrong. But I think we're going lower. The biggest thing that I think will be holding it back, if longs are going to be the play for today, is initial balance low. It would have to break below that, because a lot of times that holds as support. It's a pretty big wick on that rejection of VWAP. Islander, I'm at the point where I have a good month with 20 to 30 trades, and I have 1 or 2 bad trades where I wipe out 80 to 90% of my profits. Yeah. I've been there, man. It sucks. It's really easy to wipe out a whole month or a week of good trading with one bad day. The biggest thing I can say is use the lockout feature on your accounts. That's why I love Project X. I know TradeDay and NinjaTrader have it too, where you can set a personal daily loss limit where it liquidates your trades if you hit that. The problem with TradeDay is you can go in there and change your target and continue trading if you want to. Project X actually locks your account for the day if you hit your daily loss limit. But that's, I think, the biggest thing that has saved me is actually setting those guardrails on my account so that if I do have a bad day where I'm oversizing or revenge trading or entering trades that I'm not supposed to, it locks me out and it forces me to walk away and come back tomorrow with a fresh head. So I can't blow an entire account in one day. So use those lockout features. You're up 1,000. Do you take it? It depends. Are you in a funded account where you need to hit a consistency rule? Then probably. I don't know. I try not to trade for P&L. I just trade to what my level is. Unless I have a consistency target. But in that case, I just set a daily profit target in my account. So it'll lock me out when I'm done. I'm not familiar with IC markets. Maybe Google it and see if they have some sort of daily loss limit feature. Because yeah, it's definitely hard to rely on yourself to walk away. I actually, I'm a former gym owner, so I've done nutrition coaching and fitness coaching and stuff. I kind of equate it to, think about if you have a cabinet full of Cheetos and Oreos and stuff. You walk past a box of Oreos, who really can just take one and walk away? No, you're going to eat a whole sleeve. Girl Scout cookies. Are you really just going to eat one Girl Scout cookie, or are you going to eat the whole sleeve? So things like that, you just have to get rid of the temptation. So that's kind of how I look at it with the lockout feature on accounts. It's when you're in the thick of it and you have that tilt, anger, revenge, it's hard to just rely on your own discipline to get up and walk away. So having that feature where it just locks you out and saves you from yourself is really helpful. So I would recommend looking at your broker and seeing if they have it. I have a Google sheet that I keep everything in, and then I screenshot my trading view trades and put them in there. I actually recently just signed up with TradeZella. I've used them before, but I didn't want to pay the fee. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and signed up with them again. I really like TradeZella. It makes it nice so you can like just upload everything and it tracks the data for you. But I've done it with a Google sheet for 7 months. Like, you don't need anything fancy. I've also done it with just a paper journal. I have this right here, actually, my little notebook where I'll write more of like the emotional side of trading, just to kind of keep track of some of my triggers. Because I think it's important to journal your strategy, like, this is my strategy and this is what my win rate is for this strategy. So you know when to change things on like risk management, and am I putting my stop loss too close, or am I hitting my trailing stop loss every time and leaving money on the table? Like, those are important in terms of the technical, but also journaling the emotional side of things is important too. That way you can figure out what your triggers are for tilt. Or know what some of the signs are. Like, if you're good at journaling, you can figure out, like, I have these precursor emotions, and if I don't walk away now, then I'm going to blow my account. So sometimes for people, it's like you're gritting your teeth, or like you have a large unrealized profit and you end up hitting your break even, or different things like that. Like, journal those things. And if that is what causes you to tilt, write it down. So next time it happens, you can walk away. You're not going to start to learn those patterns if you don't write it down. Now you want some Girl Scout cookies? Yep. It's hard to resist. That's why I don't buy them. Because if they're in my house, I'll eat them all in one day. I'm going to move my stop loss a little lower because value area high is here, and we also have all these wicks where we were consolidating. I want it to stay below New York anchored VWAP and point of control. Like, I don't want it to go that much higher. 966.75. All right, looks like it is heading back up. It's holding this low. Maybe I'm wrong on the shorts for now. How long have I been trading overall? 1 year. Pretty much exactly 1 year this week. I started in September of 2024. Thanks, Scott. I feel like I'm decent on the technical analysis. Like, obviously, always still learning and growing. I haven't like made it. I'm not saying that. It's the risk management, like emotional part that is still the weakness holding me back from super consistent payouts. But I overall am profitable. Like, I'm in the green based on what I've paid for prop firm challenges and what I've taken as payout. So overall profitable. Joey, what's up? How's it going, man? Yeah, waiting on better PA. So I've taken a 15-minute an hour. And then I still think we're going lower. So once it rejected VWAP, took another short, but I don't know. I'm going to see how, if it ends up getting down to initial balance low, I'm going to see how it reacts there. Probably move my stop loss to break even at that point in case it decides to bounce and go higher. But I still think it's going down. That's my thoughts. Hey, Maria, how's it going? We had a rising YouTube star. Oh my gosh. I don't know what happened, Joey. I had one video that went off. Having fun with it. My 10-year-old thinks I'm cool. He checks my subscriber count every morning. Like, Mom, you're famous. Aw, thanks, Texas Bird Feeder. I try. I just wanted to be maybe kind of a recaps and just wanted to kind of be honest with the journey, ups and downs. I share my losses. Like, I have videos where I talk about my blown accounts and like went on tilt and almost had a payout. Like, today I would have gotten a payout in the video and then I blew it all in one day. Like, I share the wins and the losses. I'm not just sharing all payouts. Sharing the journey, just trying to be transparent with it, not claiming that I'm the world's best trader. I still got a long way to go, but hopefully inspiring some people along the way that it is possible and we can do it together. I think the biggest thing is just being willing to stay humble and always be learning and growing. And not just with like technical analysis and learning new strategies and learning price action and stuff, but learning about yourself and learning how to be aware of your emotions and being willing to look in the mirror and see that like maybe you really are a greedy person and that's affecting your trading, or maybe you're an angry revenge person and that's affecting your trading. Like, it takes a lot to be able to look in the mirror and say, like, I am the problem. And if you're willing to jump on board that self-development journey and like improve yourself, then I think you can be successful at trading. Yeah, I do. Trading is my only income at this point. My husband is away on a work trip for the next couple months. So I'm full-time mom, full-time single mom right now. So I trade while they're in school. And then when they're out of school, I'm soccer mom. I coach their soccer and like all the homework and dinner and bath and bed and all that stuff. So I would say like in terms of hours, part-time trader, full-time mom. Roger that. Stay humble and learn. Isn't that advice that works with pretty much everything in life though? Like I'm a former business owner. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. And that's how you're successful in business too, in my opinion. Stay humble and always try to learn. Surround yourself with people that are where you want to be and learn from them. Sorry, Sasmit. Football, not soccer. I live in Texas though. I can't call it football because football here is like American football. Everyone would be confused if I said football. All right, this is initial balance low right here. So if we break below that and hold below it, we'll likely continue lower. So that's the main thing that's holding us back at this point. If we bounce there, longs could be the play. It didn't even come all the way down to initial balance low and it's bouncing. What is this crap, you guys? This is terrible. The platform I'm trading on right now, this is Lucid Trading and it's Project X. So it's the same. If you've ever traded with Top Step, it's the same thing as that. But Project X is the company that a lot of different prop firms are adopting now. Is there a broker that has TradingView integration? Like if you get a prop firm account, can you trade in TradingView? Yes. Trade8 and NinjaTrader connect with TradingView. I don't know about others. I'm sure there are others, but I haven't used them. You can't copy trade though. If you're trading, if you connect Trade8 or NinjaTrader, same thing pretty much. If you connect them to TradingView, you can only trade one account. You can't copy trade unless you have a copy trade account, like a copy trader, a third party. If you plan to copy trade, you have to do that directly in the platform. All right, Scott, have a good day. Islander, have you considered, do you trade with a prop firm or is it like your personal account? If you're trading with a personal account and you're struggling with tilt and like losing a bunch of money, just a thought. I don't know if you're familiar with prop firms, but maybe go to a prop firm, at least temporarily, until you get some confidence back, because it kind of sounds like maybe your confidence is shot. So the idea with a prop firm is you can invest, $50, $100, depending on which prop firm you go with. $50 is not realistic because usually there's an activation fee. So $100 or so, you can buy a prop firm account and it gives you access to money to trade with, and you can actually take payouts from it. But the idea that I'm thinking of for you is that if you do have those moments where you just lose it, then all you're doing is losing your $100 prop firm buy-in rather than, potentially thousands of dollars in your account, like real money. And then if you decide to go that route, you can sign up for a Project X platform. So like Lucid Trading, for example, or Tradeify or any of those, you can use Project X and they do have those lockout features. That's smart, Waffles. Step away, keep your profits. Maybe look this afternoon and see if there's another trade, or just come back tomorrow when things are better. I'm not watching the Mag 7. No. Yeah, I don't know, Islander. I think personally what I would do if you're struggling and feeling like you're going on tilt, don't risk your own money until you get that discipline under control. That's probably what I would do, is move to a prop firm to get your confidence back and be able to have that lockout feature. And you can still, like I said, take real money from it too. Yeah, Renzo, this is Lucid. Lucid and TradeDay are the ones that I have active accounts with right now. I've traded with all the ones that I have up on the screen, and I like all of them. I've taken payouts from all of them except TradeDay yet. I'm on like a treadmill with TradeDay where like I have a red day and then a green day, red day, green day, and it's taken me forever to get to a payout, but I'll get there. Oh man. I don't know, you guys. So, Pal speaks in like an hour and 20 minutes. I'm guessing the market's waiting until then. Oh, Efrain, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, Islander, that was kind of the vibe I was getting, is that confidence is low. Don't give up. Like, I mean, a lot of the psychological, like the mental trading psychology videos that you watch and stuff. I mean, I'm not a guru. I don't want to claim to be an expert. But a lot of people say like the ones who make it in trading are the ones that just don't quit. So instead of spending years blowing your own money, go with a prop firm account. I'm not a big fan of paper trading just because I feel like There's no emotional buy-in. But it's a lot easier to perfect your craft and gain some confidence and potentially only blow $100 prop firm fee instead of thousands of your own dollars. You still have to manage it like it's your own account. Otherwise, you can end up spending thousands of dollars on prop firm accounts, and that's not the goal. But it'll allow you to get your confidence back. Imagine if you invested $100 into a prop firm account and you traded it slow, you traded it well, you managed your emotions, you set your lockout features, you had some red days, but there were small red days, mostly green days, and after like 4 weeks, you took a $1,500 payout from a $100 investment. Imagine how your confidence would feel after that. And maybe do that a couple times, like 4 to 6 months of that, and then go back to your personal account. That's probably what I would do. All right, well, it came down to initial balance low. Looks like we're bouncing. And I think I'm gonna be done, you guys. This sucks. Yeah, Ephraim, that's just YouTube in general. There's like a 10-second delay on YouTube. 8 seconds, something like that. Alrighty, guys. I think I'm going to call it. Got stopped out on shorts twice, so not going to try shorts anymore. That's my rule. I'll try the same idea twice. But it looks like it's holding initial balance low and it might be going higher. Why not flip the switch? Like what? Go longs? Is that what you mean? Because my bias was short and we're still below VWAP, and because we're still stuck in this choppy consolidation, so I wouldn't want to enter longs until it shows that we're actually going to be bullish. Another thing too, more just from like the mental side of trading, is when I flip like that, like if I'm short, I came into the day with that bias, and then I immediately flip long, that's when I tilt and blow accounts. Because if I go long here, and then let's say it starts to reject VWAP again, and then I'm like, shoot, I was wrong. I should have gone short, and then I flip short. And you do that a couple times, and before you know it, you're down $1,500, and you just lost all of your profits. So that is why I don't flip positions like that. Unless I have done it before, and a good reason to do it would be like, let's say, for example, I took this short and it went down to my target at 877 and it immediately started to buy up from there. So that would give me confirmation that like, okay, this is a good level. I would maybe consider a long from there. Like that would be the only time that I would flip a position or flip my bias. But just reversing back and forth is a good way to blow accounts. All right, guys, I'm going to call it. This price action sucks. Me personally, what I'm probably going to do is step away and then wait and see what happens after Powell speaks. Maybe check trades this afternoon or something. So I'll be sharing in Discord if I do end up deciding to trade more. But other than that, you guys have a great afternoon. Take care.